One of the fastest growing segments of fraud investigations has to do with family law cases or divorce cases where one party or another wants to try to keep some of the family marital assets out of the division of assets, and they hide it. Now the fact that there's cryptocurrency and Bitcoin type investigations, it's easier to find those where divorce attorneys discuss how experts may uncover someone's secret stash. This is not a new thing. We started seeing this back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Prior to that, almost never were there large amounts of money hidden in a divorce, just because the amounts we're seeing in estates weren't that big. In the mid-2000s, we started to see a little bit, but then the crash of 2007 and 8 kind of delayed that a little bit. But once the economy in 2010 and 11 started to advance, the last 10 years really saw a lot of spouses trying to hide $100 or $200 or $300,000 or more in a divorce. And once you have that much money at stake, it's worth trying to spend some money to hide it. So if you look at some quotes as a divorce attorney based in Long Island, they say the same thing. The level of awareness for divorce attorneys is very recent. It's not a long-term thing. The hardest part for attorneys is first to determine whether there was an investment, right? And then once you have that suspicion, go after it. Some spouses in a divorce know about cryptocurrency from past conversations. Others suspect hidden funds based on their spouse's lifestyle changes. As an example, if you know in a relationship or in a marriage that there's a certain amount of activity, certain amount of assets, and all of a sudden in the divorce proceedings, there's usually a financial disclosure. If the amounts don't seem right, it could have gone somewhere. There's always a way to trace it. There's a way to trace it when it's converted from normal cash fiat currency into cryptocurrency. There's also a way to trace it once it's in cryptocurrency where the activity goes. If a spouse thinks there might be a significant amount in cryptocurrency, they might file a subpoena, but there are several ways to find secret crypto accounts. Forensic experts, that's the key. They scour electronic stored information. You'll see that in other videos we've done, how the procedure goes. The main thing to keep in mind is in the modern era of divorce proceedings, within the last 10 years, people started to try to hide money. Up until a year or two ago, you didn't have cryptocurrency as an option. So what people would do is they would buy a piece of real estate in somebody else's name. They would buy poker chips like we've talked about before, casino chips. They would stash cash in a safe deposit box. None of those really are good. Those are also discoverable. The cryptocurrency, for many amateur asset concealers, people who don't do this for a living every day, they think cryptocurrency is the magic bullet where they can hide the money. In reality, it actually leaves as much of a paper trail as writing a check from your bank, so it's discoverable. So keep that in mind if you're in the middle of a family law case or even any other type of litigation, judgment, and you feel like somebody might be hiding money in cryptocurrency, there's ways to discover it. In fact, even if you don't suspect it, figure that somebody else is thinking it. Imagine this. If you were at the losing end of a lawsuit for $500,000, or you're in the middle of a divorce that's splitting up $700,000, imagine the temptation to hide a couple $100,000. And when you hear cryptocurrency in the news every single day, you might think that's an easy way to go to hide the money. The good news is most of these asset concealers are amateurs in what they're doing. They don't know how to hide the assets. What that means is they're easy to find because they don't do it in a way that is secure enough for you not to find those hidden assets that belong to you.